Chandragupta Maurya. You want to know if the changes of Chandragupta makes him still worth it to be useful. You want to know which is the reward that we got for players who had a max skill Chandragupta, because I did had a max skill Chandragupta on this account. You want to know how it looks when a commander is being resetted from a max to zero, all everything that you get back and all that stuff. You want to know how Chandragupta was before, and you want to know how Chandragupta is after. This is going to be the things that I'm going to talk in this video. And after I'm done with Chandragupta, I'm going to go through the patch notes as well, because there has been some changes that you really want to know about and you really want to see these changes. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdom video. My name is Legend Ronnie and today we have the new patch notes with the changes on Chandragupta and a lot of other changes into the game. I'm going to talk first about the Chandragupta because I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of players are interested in and want to hear about. This is the email that we got from the system where they're apologizing about the errors about Chandragupta, and that's on his primary skill. This is Chandragupta before. You're noticing on the top is a level 60 Chandragupta. The Hidden Moon, this is the skill that got modified, or at least it got fixed. So what the support is saying, or at least the system email, what it said regarding the error, it said that the power of the commander hasn't been changed. Everything they've done was just adjusted the description. Now, you want to believe that or not, this is what they say. The damage of all troops under his command is increased by 40%. At the same time, they gain 1 stack of Blessed, increase cavalry units attack by 15% per stack for 10 seconds. Blessed can stack up to 3 times. On his expertise, it says that the Blessed can stack up to 4 times. Means that you can go up to 60% cav attack. Now this is how my Chandragupta looks right now. I probably need to scroll down a little bit lower, and there you go, he's level 1 because he just got reset. It says over here on this screenshot the skill upgrade cost. So this is what I got back: 650 universals. I got the 40 specific because this is what I spent on my Chandragupta. I got all the stars and I got the experience. Level 1 reset commander. Isn't that amazing? Yes, it is. Basically, I can use those captures wherever I want. If I go into the skill to upgrade the commander, you notice that I have 40 Chandragupta specific and I have 988 because I already had 300 and something in stock, plus 650 from the reimbursement because the commander got literally zeroed. I think that's the best way I can put it. Going on to the stars, I have quite a gazillion of stars over there. Why it says there you have it, the experience is over there as well, 67,000 of the 1,001. So this is how it looks a commander when it gets completely zeroed. Now I have the possibility to invest those captures somewhere else. The new skills, because I showed the old skills, this is literally what they removed, the attack stacks. Now I'm gonna tell you something which is literally a rumor. I wasn't able to test it. I was told this right before the update, like a couple of hours. Someone just told me, said, hey, do you know why they're really doing this update and reimbursing Chandragupta to everyone? I was like, no, I don't. Why? Just tell me. And he said that in the battle log, the stacks of those attacks, they were not resetting. So if you look on his 4 skill, this is after the update, so we don't see the attack increase from his primary anymore. But if you look on his 4 skill, whenever he's using his primary skill, all these stacks, they're supposed to go. In the battle log, what the player was telling me is that the stacks don't reset, that it increased 50% attack. Now this is before the update, meaning that Chandragupta, if the player was right, was having 60% attack increase at all times, regardless of using his 4 skill or not. And I think they couldn't fix that, and they just literally reset the commander to everyone. And now it just doesn't do the 60% attack. Now I can't test it anymore because the update is done and I just didn't have time to test it. I had ruins and I had other things to do. I'm not sure if someone else can confirm this, if that was true, that his stacks were not resetting and he was constantly having the 60% attack. If someone can confirm that or has a screenshot, then it will definitely help us a lot to figure this out. If not, it's just rumors. Now the question is that everyone wants to know, is it still worth it to put your sculptures on Chandragupta? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to advise you what you should do. First of all, I was not expertising Chandragupta for the attack increase. I never had that in my mind when I was investing Chandragupta, because let's say that it still has the attack increase. Every time you use his 4th skill, that attack is lost. So for how long do you literally have that attack? Maybe it was affecting the skill, maybe it wasn't, but you can tell that that's for a very short period. Not to mention that this 4th skill gets triggered by the primary and the secondary in command. You would never have those stacks because you constantly do primary, secondary, primary, secondary. Even if you manage to stack 4, it's just for a very short time. My idea when I wanted to max Chandragupta, it was because of his 3rd skill. That's one. Two, I just needed more skill damage on the battlefield. I didn't want to just go a lot of archers. I didn't want to just go with some of the weaker commanders, which it might sound crazy, but once you get to a certain point into the game, Double C, Minamoto, they're kind of dropping in utilities for field battles. You want commanders with more juice on them. So I wanted to replace Minamoto and I wanted to replace Double C, which I already did. I'm not using them right now. For field battles, that's where I wanted my Chandragupta, and that's where I want my William as well. I never had the intention of maxing them for rally purposes. If they're gonna still work on rallies, that's gonna be great. Because in Ark of Osiris, at least before the update, they were the meta of breaking down and taking down some of the strongest garrisons. Attila and Chandragupta and William, this is what they were used. You can check some of the live streams on the Osiris Legend. You will see that Chandragupta runs in all directions. Have extra skill damage, mobility, cav commander, and the debuff, right? These 3 things. This is very unique. The health and defense reduction that stacks up to 3 times that 15%. With a 50% chance, right? You apply this all the time. Whichever target you're gonna hit, a maximum of 5 turns, I give it, maximum of 5 turns, and that target, that's 5 seconds, and that target has a 15% health and defense reduction. Now you're probably gonna say, hold on, there's so many defense reduction commanders out there in the game. There's even Ethelflaed reduces 30%. We all know that defense and health reduction, they don't stack. They all show in the battle log, but always the strongest one work. Just think if you didn't know, I've done a video about that, how buffs and debuffs work as well. What I was interested in, it was more specifically the health reduction. The reason is because there's only Ethelflaed that reduces health right now into the game, and that's for 2 seconds. Now, what is the chance that you have so many Ethelflaeds and you keep debuffing the target for non-stop? This is permanent debuff on the target. Now, what is the chance that you have so many defense reduction commanders that a target has constantly defense reduction, right? This exhaust, as long as you have Chandragupta on the target, you have 15% health and 50% defense reduction. Now imagine Ark of Osiris, swarming buildings, swarming rallies. This is permanent debuff on any target, on anything that you swarm, on anything that you hit. This is the reason why I wanted to max Chandragupta. For his 3rd skill and for the extra nuke and for the fact that he's cavalry, because I didn't want to just bring, like I mentioned, too many archers into the battlefield. I know they are great, but they're still squishy. They are still archers. When they get swarmed, they are still archers. Cavs, they have the getaway car, because if you go on the Cavs talent trees, I probably showed this a couple of times. Once you max this, it's 30% march speed. When you get to 50%, it's not hard. Now you can see the health bar of your marches on the right side. You can put that from the game settings and you can see the health bar of your marches. And once you see that, when you see your marches at 50%, especially Cavs or any marches that have mobility, just retreat them, just drag and drop them, and you retreat so you don't get smashed. When you get smashed, that's when you get the largest amount of severely wounded. So if you retreat when you're 50% or even before that, then you don't get such high hospital bills. And this is where Cavs excel at. This is why I'm using Cavs. This is why I like mobility so much. It's because on the battlefield, I control all the time my marches. If you're a Cav specialized, this is my recommendation. I will say that you still should work on Chandragupta. Now imagine that you have these debuffs. Imagine that you have Tomiris on a target as well, increasing skill damage. How devastating will that be on any kind of march? Not necessarily a defensive march, but even a march that doesn't have so much defense, right? It's very devastating when you have 5 nuking marches on it with all this. If you're a medium and a high spender, you should also work on Chandragupta. That's my recommendation. It is not a commander for low spender. Free to play is definitely not. Another thing that I have to say about Chandragupta is that it needs to be maxed. If you just want to build him for the debuffs, it's still not going to be enough. You want him to be maxed because you want the direct damage factor, you want the 500, and you want the extra chances to get stacks. So you can keep popping in and keep nuking hard with his self-control. That's my advice, and this is what I have to say about Chandragupta. Now, it's up to you what you want to do next. Let's go ahead and let's check the rest of the patch notes. Osiris League Grand Finals. The two realm champions will meet in the Grand Finals to determine the strongest alliance in Osiris League. So that's pretty much what they were referring to when they said the best of three. I'm pretty sure that the playoffs, these finals, I don't think it's going to be best of three. I believe that it's just going to be one game. Here it is what they were saying. The number 4, the Osiris League Grand Finals are starting. The Grand Finals will be a best of 3 contest. Bets will open at corresponding times. Don't miss out. I believe that this is going to replace the Osiris Invitational. This is what I understand from this, because you already saw the link over there on the Osiris League. The Osiris League Grand Finals is going to replace the Osiris Invitational. They just added a new skin, which the champions gonna have a best of 3 game, so they just made it a little bit easier. I'm expecting that they just want to start the season 4 of Osiris League. They just don't want to delay it that much, because from season 1 to season 2 and season 2 to season 3, I think there was a big gap, especially from season 2 to season 3 because of the Osiris Invitational. So I believe they just don't plan to bring Osiris Invitational back, and they just want to keep this grand finals and just a fight between the champions. The Osiris Invitational, it is a great event, and most likely or probably they just want to introduce that maybe separately. I'm not sure what's going to be their plan with the Osiris Invitational, but at least we know how the grand final is. It means that we're going to have a Thanksgiving event at some point in the game. And White Towers, I believe that this is the Last and Scrolls. Yeah, this is the Last and Scrolls. So there's nothing else. There's no power designs. It means that we might just not have a power event anytime soon. Probably towards the Christmas, I believe. Regarding nameplates and frames, apparently there is 3 new. We have the Thanksgiving Harvest, which most likely is going to be from the Thanksgiving event, and we have the Legendary Dancer, which comes from Dance of Friendship event. And we also got Strength of the Gods, can be obtained through the Dance of Friendship event. So there's going to be the same event apparently that will grant both of them. We all know that we have Lubu and Diaochan into the game, so let's go ahead and let's check some of those commanders, plus some of the changes to the commanders that have done. Before I'm going to go into the commanders, I do have to show the rest of the frame. Emerging Phantom. There is the Thanksgiving one, and there is the Emerging Phantom. Oh, this is the Grand Final, the Osiris League Grand Finals. Alright, it says under it. My apologies. And after that, we have the Legendary Dancer, and we have Strength of the Gods. Well, this is a really nice one. Yo, this is really cool. I like this one. Still, I like my All Out Rumble more, but this is a really nice one. So I believe that this comes with the Lubu. Let's go ahead and check what I mentioned about them. First, we have to go to the changes. So apparently, let's see, over here, deals damage factor, and at the same time deals direct damage to 3 targets. So it doesn't mention, but one of the changes was that Artemisia no longer cause severely wounded to your troops, or even dead in some situation, which they didn't want to mention, but most likely dead, because she does damage to herself. Now she only does slightly wounded. The slightly wounded is the troops that you will recover once you get into your city. You don't have to heal, or in worst scenario, they just don't die. I already talked about Chandragupta Maurya. Going on to the Zenobia, now when we check her expertise, we properly see the 30% damage increase for 2 seconds, which is a very great damage increase. This expertise is really amazing, quite great. Now let's see if the primary skill does that. Alright, so the primary skill doesn't increase the damage, the primary skill only increases the health bonus. So that was just a description on her expertise, a description error. Harald Sigurdsson, I believe that there was a change on Harald as well. Let's see if we can find it. Infantry led by this commander gain 10% increased attack and 2% march speed. That goes up to 10% and 30% attack. When this commander used their active skills, all infantry units under their command gain 1% more attack, but loses 5% defense. Okay, so this was the change. This was just an error fix on the description. It doesn't matter at which level you have this skill, so it's not like you can avoid these skills. You lose the 5% defense. The effect lasts for 8 seconds and can stack up to 15 times. So you will get 75% defense reduction, regardless of the level of this skill. There was no bug when people were reading the reports, because they were sending me screenshots saying, hey, his attack is only goes by 1%, but his defense goes by 5%, and I got the commander 5111. That was the reason. It was because the description, but there was an error on the description. So whoever had him maxed, that there was nothing to worry about. They just fixed the description that you lose 5% defense regardless. So this was the changes on the 3 commanders. I already mentioned about Chandragupta, and here we have officially Lubu and Diaochan. I already talked about them. I already talked about their full description on the skills. One more thing I could say about Lubu as extra. You can check the video where I talked about the full description. There's no reason to go over that in the same video. Damage bonus usually by this commander deal increased damage when attacking cities. So he's a conquering, leadership conquering and skill. Not very hyped about leadership commanders or integration commander, but she is a peacekeeping, and that is something that I'm very hyped about. Diaochan's captures, you can get her from the bundle and from the event. And Lubu, you'll be able to get him from the event as well, meaning that you'll only be able to max these commanders if you are going to buy the bundles. Is that the voice? Oh my god. You have an option for the voice? I mean, I didn't hear. Did I say something? Yeah, that's an option for the voice.
I tire of your presence.
Let's see, out of curiosity, do we have option? No, we don't have option for the other commanders. That would be really amazing if they would add that for the other commanders as well. Because I would really want to hear Genghis Khan in English. I'm so sick of... No, give us the English version of Genghis Khan, you piece of... So like I was mentioning, one thing that I can add on Lubu is about his expertise. There's no other commander into the game that reduces defense by 50% on the target. Even that it is for 3 seconds, I still believe that he might have a utility as a second in command for debuffing purposes, especially in Ark of Osiris. On top of that, he has troops capacity 10%. So whoever you're going to put him second to, like any specialization that you put first and him as a second, that's going to be an extra bonus because you get more troops and then you get the sweet debuff of 50%. He also has 3 targets, so he does more damage, more AoE, which more AoE on murder balls or group fights, there's nothing bad. Even that is only 1000. On his third skill, attack increase without Diaochan. I still don't see how you should use them together, even for the 40% attack. Maybe at the beginning of the kingdom, yes, leadership commanders work. You can put him first and Diaochan second. KVK 1, maybe KVK 2. But after that, I just don't see him being used first, even with this crazy attack increase. Plus, the effect can only trigger most of every 5 seconds, and that's for 3 seconds. That's all I have to say about him. For debuffing purposes, he might just have a utility. 50% defense is huge. When I've done the full description, I'm pretty hyped about her. When she is expertise for the next 4 seconds, 100% chance, a lot of damage factor. So I believe that maybe as a second in command, free-to-play low spender, she might have a utility. I'm definitely going to test her out if I manage to max her. Healing factor with Lubu, again, maybe up to KVK2. Them together might have a utility, but after that, not so much. Integration peacekeeping support, I'm really happy about the peacekeeping. Attack and defense bonus and experience from barbarians and so on. Going on to the forge. A couple of new items have been introduced into the forge. Exactly what infantry needed. March speed. Thank you very much. So for example, if you have a lot of march speed on your infantry, this might just save your building in Ark of Osiris, for example. This might just give you that slight edge on your march that is reinforcing, if you're reinforcing with infantry. So I'm not going to say that this is going to be bad trinkets, but still it's march speed. Going on to the event, we still don't know yet from where to get them. The next one is troops capacity, ancient stratagems. I really like this. Even though it's only 3%, you might saying, well, it's only 3%, but I can tell you that this is going to be a must-have item in Sunset Canyon. 3000 troops. Field battle as well, very possible, not for rallies. Meaning that it is the freaking time when they need to introduce a preset for your equipment, to make presets on your equipment so you can keep switching equipment while just Plusing the freaking presets. It's about time. They're introducing way too many accessories and it's gonna drive people crazy of keep going clicking all the time, switch equip on, switch equip on. It's not hard. I believe they can do those presets. But this will definitely need the preset, and this 3% troops capacity will have a big role on the field battle and Sunset Canyon. That's my bet. I like both of them. Really, really nice accessories. They also introduced two legendaries accessories, which again they don't mention where you will be able to get them. One of them, it says sets call. Attack has a 10% chance to grant up to 2 nearby allies. 10% increase attack for 3 seconds. This effect can trigger most of once every 3 seconds. The other one grants 50% rage for up to 2 nearby allies. This effect can trigger most of once every 3 seconds as well. Wow, so I like both of them, but my honest opinion is that these are support skills. It might sound crazy again, but at least one of them, and I'm expecting that the rage one will have a very good utility in Sunset Canyon. Other than that, field battles is where I would see these trinkets to be used for support purposes, or I'm expecting them to introduce a new arena type of event. If you all know, I've done this, I've posted this a long time ago in the Rise of Kingdom Discord on the suggestions. You see the date over there on the bottom, 10/11/2020. So my idea was that they would create a type of arena type of game, and it reaches to an amount of 274 votes at that time. I'm not sure if there was more because there is a link on my Discord as well to go and upvote this. So it got the votes that I posted as that suggestion. So I'm pretty sure this went to the devs, because everything that goes over 100 thumbs up, it means that this suggestion is going to be passed to the devs. So I'm expecting that these support items might be introduced in that type of arena, because that would really make sense. I'm pretty sure they'll have utilities on battlefields, Sunset Canyon, and so on, but being a player that played a lot of MMOs into the past, this kind of tells me that this kind of support items might just be for an arena type of game where you're pretty much going to control your marches. Probably with the coins you'll be able to get something like that, and that's why they introduced the march speed for the infantry, because they don't want you to kite the infantry so much with clouds. And what kite means? It means when the infantry just follows you and you just go around in circles because the infantry won't catch you. Probably that's why they added those as well. It's a very interesting idea that they just added now these items. So I hope maybe that's what it is about. Or maybe is the new event, the Trojan Horse. Maybe that's where we will get them, which is the event after Heroic Anthem. It's supposed to be the KVK after Heroic Anthem, or type of KVK event. We don't know yet. We just saw, on a picture that there is a Trojan Horse type of event. Maybe it's gonna be on that. Another mod change, which you can only see that if you're a rank 4. I'm not sure if you're noticing on top next to the rank 5, it shows the amount of players that are online. So that's pretty good on how you can plan things. There's 31 players online right now. Another change that have been added into the game, you're probably noticing the star next to some of the new kingdoms, and that's because this is a rising kingdom. You can migrate within the same continent. If you're not happy on the kingdom that you started and you just want to go to the first KVK, you can pretty much try all the kingdoms in your continent, but you cannot try rising kingdoms unless you are less than 10 million power. Governors with more than 10 million power cannot immigrate to either two of the most powerful kingdoms on any continent unless the target kingdom is developed, and you only get developed after 120 days. The kingdom has been open for more than 120 days or was established earlier than your home kingdom. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and now testing, joining, and leaving the rally. Let's see how this function works, because this is one of the new things that have been introduced into the update. Everyone wants to know about it, so let's see how this is gonna work. I'm just waiting now for a fourth rally to hit, and once it's gonna reach here, I'm gonna join with one of my march. After a couple of seconds, I'm gonna try to leave, and then I'm gonna try to join with some of the other march, maybe even the same one, see if that works, but I'll prefer to join with a fresh one. Is it joining? I hope it's joining. Alright, so it finally joined. Each governor can dispatch only one army in the rally. I'm trying to drag and drop. Let's see if I go from the alliance overview. So apparently I can press over here. Are you sure you want to exit the rally? Yes. Alright, so that's how you do it. And then you can join with the fresh. Now, unfortunately, the fort is going to die. And I managed to get in with the second rally, or the fort is going to die. Alright, I did get in with the second march. For the record, it cost me action points for 2, just in case you're wondering, by joining and leaving. So that's how you leave. You don't have to leave the alliance anymore. This is some really great news, and this is a really great update regarding this. It means that rallies can go on for as long as you have troops, and that's how it's going to be from now on. Oof, I'm pretty excited to see how some kingdoms will gonna operate on this. This is gonna be a little bit of game breaking for garrisons, because defending is kind of the hardest thing to do right now in Rise of Kingdoms. Of being offensive is very easy. Once you control the field, being offensive is very easy. And now that you can leave rally and rejoin, especially players who got, very low marches in the rally, to just join with a fresh one, I don't know. I mean, it's good and bad. We will see later on how this is going to play out. I also heard that the return home button has been changed, and you can see it over here on the top. I wasn't sure what my players were referring to when they said return home. It's on the left up corner. You see it over there. I was referring when they said that when you get your marches home, but no, they are referring to the head home. The Chronicle rewards haven't changed, and if I go onto the Crusader rewards, they haven't changed either. It's the same. They're gonna change from the next Lost Kingdom, because you probably read in the patch notes that the rewards will change, and they will change. Alright, y'all. Until next time, this is your boy Geroni signing off. Peace out, y'all, and take care. See you on the next one, and stay safe out there, my friends. I hope I covered everything. If not, you have the comment section below. See you later, alligator.